Crayon Shin-Chan 4 Ora no Itsazura Dai Henshin. That's a mouthful. I don't know if I pronounced it properly, but if I didn't, I don't care. Getting out of the way here. Released in 1994 for Nintendo Game Boy, courtesy of Bandai in Japan. It's the fourth game in a series of games based on the manga and anime series of the same name that I unfortunately know very little about, other than the anime is still going strong today in some form or fashion. Thanks to a buddy for supplying said games for the purposes of this review, which some may be wondering, why is this video a thing? Well, this video is a thing because Crayon Shin-Chan 4 at one point was used as the basis for a rather notable ROM hack called Super Mario 4, which took the game and turned it into a bootleg Mario game. The idea originally was to review that game, but since my time with that game was less than favorable, and shall we say, and also, since I found the source material, I opted for this game instead, so here we are. So Crayon Shin-Chan 4 places you in the role of the main character, Shin-Chan, who ventures through 4 levels of life doing stuff. Your main goal is to make it to the end of the level and defeat the boss to move on, all the while tackling enemies, collecting items, and things of that nature. See, without the foreknowledge of what this is all about, it makes it difficult to convey into words the backstory of the game. However, ignorance of the source material doesn't detract from the overall product, which is a fairly basic side-scrolling platform game akin to a traditional Super Mario game. Somewhat. Shin-Chan can bonk enemies on their noggins to kill them, but he can also collect one of 3 special items that will change his look and give him special powers. The chicken outfit will let him shoot eggs, the squirrel outfit will slow your descent if you mash the A button while airborne, much like Bunny Mario in Super Mario Land 2, and the cockroach outfit reduces your height, allowing you to fit narrow spaces and stuff. There are also coins you could collect to play one of 3 mini-games, a bug-catching minigame, a shooting gallery, or a slide. Any of these games can be accessed through the main menu if you want to avoid the main campaign of sorts. Coins also serve as protection whenever you take a hit from an enemy or an hazard. Usually takes 1 hit to lose a life, but if you have a power-up form, you merely lose the form when you take a hit, and if you have coins on hand, afterwards, you lose a coin per hit. There are also cans scattered about, in which collecting 30 of them will net you an extra life. Crayon Shin-Chan 4 is a very simplistic, very basic platform game. The core mechanics function the way they're supposed to. You play it, you have an idea on how everything works, and it continues in this fashion without any hiccups. Controls are perfectly fine, responsive, simplistic, functional. The various power-ups and the mini-games you play add variety to the package, which is nice. Beyond that, it's 4 average-sized levels of play with a fairly low challenge level. Shouldn't take you more than half an hour to beat this, and there's a good possibility that you could probably even beat it on the first try. So the replay value may be somewhat lacking. However, as a portable experience with no passwords or battery backup, this is perfectly fine for a long road trip or something of that ilk. Crayon Shin-Chan 4 sports some clean-looking graphics, with the sprites made to resemble the various characters from the manga/anime, just managing that particular visual style, which I think they did an admirable job with. The background elements and the level layouts as a whole is fairly basic-looking fare that would fit in nicely in a Super Mario game of sorts, which actually explains that hack. What Crayon Shin-Chan 4 provides that the Super Mario 4 hack did not is Super Game Boy compatibility, which means a basic baby blue border and level-specific color palettes, which is a nice touch, and I don't know why I sounded like that, I don't care. Sound-wise, the first 3 levels have the same basic song, presumably a main theme of sorts. It's actually not a bad melody, almost a catchy one actually, if I do say so myself. But once you hit that final level and there's a more upbeat tune, just a variety of the main theme I suppose, I was happy for the variety nonetheless. The rest of the soundtrack is just kinda sorta there, as are the sound effects, nothing special really. Overall, Crayon Shin-Chan 4 for Game Boy is basic, inoffensive fare. It's a competent side-scrolling platform game that's perfect for little kids or folks who are beginners to the side-scrolling platforming genre, but considering it's an import, it doesn't really offer anything that makes it worthwhile to the, international market, if you will. I suppose if you're a fan of the original franchise, or you just wanted to see where that one hack came from originally, this might be worth your while, but otherwise, I wouldn't lose any sleep if I never got to play this. It's a fine game for what it is, but not a must-play by any means.